right. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Lucas.
Oh, were you supposed to do it? And
And
this is
this
really
is Millennial Cope podcast.
don't
We
worry.
don't know what the fuck we're doing, guys.
Hey, we're figuring it out as we go, so
No.
that's
I
fine.
mean, yeah, no, we're gonna hopefully this audio quality. That's the first thing we're going to lead in with. The audio quality should sound much better, at least on Kevin's end. Hopefully on my end too, but definitely going to make sure you want to stick around and actually listen to this crap that we say.
And if not, heads are gonna fucking roll. we're we're canceling Google Meet. We're gonna try Zencaster or Zoom or whatever. We're gonna what's that little phrase from the anime? Dude, I forgot what.
Yeah,
Uh,
Snyder.
no. I will move forward until all our enemies are defeated. This
Oh
audio
yeah.
quality is superb.
Yeah. No, what's the other one? The other application though you mentioned. That's
Oh,
right about Snyder.
so we have two options too. So with the audio quality recording, with using these normal video conferencing tools like Zoom and Google Meet, the primary purpose is just meeting communication with businesses, not necessarily like podcast focused. So these two software tools, Zencaster and I believe it was Riverside FM.
Riverside,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah.
How did I get Snyder from Riverside? Whatever.
I think Snyder is like a very famous brand in headphones, so maybe you got confused that way. Like it's a pretty popular brand.
Sure,
Yeah.
we'll just go with that. Hey,
So, Lucas, you said something very interesting recently about an anime that we both grew up with, Pokemon, and primarily the protagonist Ash Ketchum. So, I was just wondering what your thoughts were with the recent news that you shared with me that it basically only has 11 episodes left in his whole story arc.
right. Yeah, no, I try to send you stuff throughout the week. That's one of the best ways to kind of keep conversations and topics flowing. Whenever you see something, right, you just got to send it out. But yeah, no, it's crazy. So it seems like they're going to be switching to a completely new protagonist. Like it's confirmed. I'm not sure why I said seems. It's happening. Yeah, a couple more episodes left, like 8 to 11, and I think there's like one more movie too. I hope that movie gets like a full theatrical like release and stuff. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it's even interesting that you mentioned that it's an anime too, though, because you know, growing up with this, like I never even called it an anime, right? I didn't know what an anime even was at at that age.
They're just a badass cartoon or
Right?
badass show.
It was a cartoon, right? That's how I called it, which is wrong. You're right. It is technically an anime. Um, and no, yeah, it's just kind of crazy because that's what I was telling to you. Kind of like the thing that shocked me most about it is really like, oh wow, like our childhood is officially over. Like if you haven't grown up yet, guess what? Now's your chance.
Well, it's funny you say that too because I feel with a lot of these animes or shows from our childhood, obviously it's very nostalgic to go back and look at things, primarily just to see how much you've grown and then how like emotionally relevant a lot of that stuff is still to you. I was actually saw a YouTube short about Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time, and it still was like emotionally powerful, right? Like it's just something so simple, right? Like someone overcoming their perceived limits and getting to the next level, and all these like major storylines, like watching cartoons as a kid, or like with Ash, like he had like throughout the whole series, right? Series of defeats, and then him's just being almost like relentless and still trying to be the very best.
Yeah, the 25 years of experience, and he's only 10 years old. I
Yeah.
see that meme all the time. Like an employer's wet dream. You know?
Yeah, man. And but I thought the other interesting thing about this whole story too is like you remember a couple years ago, like we shared the memes about him finally becoming like a Pokemon master, right? And I guess it was you corrected me, like a regional tournament, and this most recent one was the actual like world tournament, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. He technically won. Yeah, that was the Aloha League, and he won that one. But that was just like that region. This was like all the champions, which should have been like a what's it called? Like the foreshadowing, like a red herring.
yeah.
Right? Isn't that the right term to use? A red herring?
So a red herring is like when like the director or like production like want you to think something is happening, but it's just like a false clue to kind of smoke screen the real ending.
Oh shit, that's not what I meant then. Then what's the term when it's like, like
Foreshadowing.
yeah, no, it's not foreshadowing. Like someone's about like to like it is foreshadowing, but I thought it was like a play, like another word to use alongside foreshadowing, maybe.
Uh, what exactly do you mean? Like What do
Right.
you,
You
what?
know, like we knew Ash's journey was going to be coming to an end because we finally had this huge championship.
Okay,
That was kind of like
gotcha.
the end was already in mind. Isn't there like a term for that? Foreshadow?
Yeah.
Is it just really just foreshadowing?
um Probably just like plotting out this story, like maybe like yeah, just long term, like this is how it makes sense to end the story. uh the only similar concept I can think about is when you've like ended it almost perfectly, there's like not much real estate or story to tell left, right? Because
Uh, yeah, maybe it's like an anime term I'm
yeah,
thinking of it, because like you get like these clues about like maybe it's like a death, like when you know like a character's like going to die. What's is there a term specific for a death character? Like like you see the death of a character coming up.
yeah, it's foreshadowing.
Just for sure. There's not another term, but like specifically just for like death though.
Yeah, foreshadow. I mean, like there might be some specific term, but yeah, no, it's like I know you hated this book, but or maybe you didn't. My memory of high school is like kind of like fuzzy, but if you ever read a lot like the Shakespeare plays, right, a lot of foreshadowing of death, right, with like little clues or like symbols, right. So if you ever read Othello, is basically like this guy talks in the main character's ear, Othello, to think his wife Desdemona is gonna cheat on him or is making him like a cuckold, right? So basically, the whole first couple acts, like it's foreshadowing like his perceived betrayal from his wife and like the like ultimate his betrayal, like actually murdering her on based on like falsities. So yeah, no, like I think it's just foreshadowing. There might be a more specific term in
Right. I
anime.
just
So
looked it up.
what?
I just looked it
Oh,
up.
perfect,
I
perfect.
was, yeah, I was kind of, it's not really a term. It's just kind of like what's it called? Like a lingo almost at this point that
Mhm.
people kind of associate with it, but like it's a red flag. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
A red flag, like, oh, it's a red flag. This world championship. So yeah, like, it's like a red flag that like, that should have been like a red flag for everybody that something was like going on, that this was
um,
Ash's last time.
okay, that's pretty cool. Like maybe like a colloquial phrase you could use, because I've always heard that too. Like in terms of like character's gonna die is like the writing's on the wall. Have you ever heard
Yeah,
that?
things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the lingo. That's why I
Okay.
thought red herring. It's a
Yeah.
red flag. Yeah, the character's like foreshadowing about death. Oh, it was a red flag, guys. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we got. That was gonna bother the shit out of me. Like I was literally about to hop off the podcast. I can't do this. I'm freaking out. I need my medication. I'm fucking losing it.
I'm taking a mental health break.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So that should have been everyone's kind of like red flag that yep, something's happening. But it's gonna be really interesting to see, really, because obviously like Ash is still gonna be like with merchandising and shit. They're not getting rid of Ash. At some point, you think he would return out for maybe in like another 20 years from now or something. I don't know, or how they would use him. Maybe actually let him grow up now and he becomes like his own like adult character too. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Just curious about the future.
I I definitely think they could do like a time jump, like where he's like, I think interesting take could be one of two things. Like maybe one to portray how a lot of like people our age are feeling in this time and age, like where he's kind of like listless or a little bit lost, or the other way, like kind of the same feelings, like listless and lost, but he's like succeeding, or like there's basically no challenges left, and maybe he's his own gym leader, and yeah, yeah,
No, because I was thinking, like he's yeah, if it was like a contemporary take on modern day life and shit. Ash is like shooting up heroin and Pikachu's like shocking him. It's like, yeah, Pikachu. Oh god, yeah, I need more of that. He's just like a fucking drug addict, washed up piece of shit.
So your version of the revamped Pokemon is basically like a Wolf Among Us style interpretation of Pokemon.
Sure, yeah.
Nice.
But actually, I meant to say this too. No, actually, because I may have just already should have said it to begin with, right? Because maybe him becoming like an adult is really going to be a thing because the new protagonist, it looks just like a female character,
Mhm.
but on her like head or whatever, it's like a logo, like the same logo that's on Ash's hat. So now there's like maybe like a speculation and shit that that's his daughter.
Oh, that'd be nice, like to for have her to have like maybe a little bit of that guidance, or maybe they have a little bit of a rocky relationship. There's so many ways you could take that, but that'd actually be a pretty nice thing to see Ash as a father, like especially in the anime universe. Like I feel like it's a big trope, like where the father is gone and the mom is like, it's basically like the Disney mom syndrome, right? Like where
That's so true.
yeah, so it'd actually be nice to have like a father and mother figure be there and not be the usual trope, but maybe some like nice complexity to the relationship, right? Like maybe she feels like she's in her dad's shadow or like pushed too much by
Right, no,
him.
that would be the easiest way to tell the story. But you didn't even think about that. But you're right. That's totally like an anime trope. The father's gone, and actually, immediately my mind went to Hunter x Hunter
Yeah,
because Gone, he's like looking for his father the entire time, and you finally get to see his dad like the last couple episodes and shit. So yeah, maybe you see Ashley at the beginning and kind of sets her out like on her quest. But then, like you said, she's like kind of trying to follow in his footsteps and whatnot, like chase her dad, maybe. Yeah, again, this is not confirmed or anything, but I saw the theory, and it's the same fucking logo that's on Ash's hat. So
yeah, and
take that for what you want, guys.
and I think another interesting take is like maybe he's like a distant father, like in terms of like I'm not sure if you if we have like any our immediate friends from high school, but like we've all known like people like their parents are pretty successful, maybe their dad is, and they're always traveling or gone. So maybe that'd be an interesting take, like where um, Ash is always gone if that's his daughter, right? Because he's pursuing his own goals, and maybe he's like not necessarily like a bad father, but like kind of like the Goku syndrome. Like where like Goku basically just does whatever he wants, and he's like Piccolo's more of a dad to like Gohan than like Goku is. So
Yeah, he's a champion,
yeah,
and she's going to have to grow herself. I mean, it seems too easy, right?
yeah,
So we'll see what they have in store for the story and if that's even true.
hire us.
But one thing for sure, though, it's like one thing I'm really excited about and kind of sad about too, but Pikachu always being a part of Ash's team always took up one of his slots.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be really interesting to see if like they really conform to a new main Pokemon like over every season that never changes again, like a new mascot basically, right? Like are they really they're finally going to like replace Pikachu? That's crazy. Or they are going to just maybe make it more malleable where those six Pokemon are on like your team can. It's not all what it's not always going to be that one slot locked away to just to that one Pokemon now. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how they do that.
Well, my cynical take is that they'll probably choose another new main just because of the merchandise opportunities. Like they'd be foolish not to promote like a
Yeah.
new Pokemon and like have a new cash cow.
Yeah, no, Ash is like, I want you to have this gift. This is my favorite Pokemon. He protected me my entire journey. Like she opens it, Pikachu, but no, she opens it up and fucking Pikachu's dead, like a skeleton on the
Yeah, no,
ground.
I was about to say, wouldn't Pikachu either be dead or like be in a retirement
Yeah,
age by like because I'm
I
not sure
want
how
you
long Pikachu's live, but like if that kid, okay, if Ash is 10 and that kid's 10, that 20 years would have to pass, so there's gonna be a grave for Pikachu because I don't think they live past 30.
well, the other same thing did before, simple story solution. Pikachu finally, was getting his freak on, and has some baby Pikachu's. So Ash was like, I want you to have this. This is the offspring of. I don't know how they would do it. This is the offspring of my favorite Pokemon. Enjoy.
Yeah, and that
What? Dad, this is fuck is this?
and that Pikachu acts like a Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard's one
Yeah,
of Ash's strongest Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
no,
think of like his team. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say like you know how like Charizard in the original series didn't respect Ash, so that baby Pikachu won't respect his daughter.
Yeah, like the same kind of trope. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting. I probably may just try to watch it. I mean, I haven't watched Pokemon, dude. Seriously, I only watched. I never actually really got into that show besides the first season. Seriously, again, I stayed with the games. Huge Pokemon fan. Not now with the games and shit. Like the franchise just kind of crap the bed.
Yeah.
But besides the first season, I have not watched any. Like bits and pieces here and there. But not. And just want to stress that heavily. Not a lot at all. But with this new season, I definitely want to I would love to watch the first episode just to see what it would take the show.
Yeah, one interesting thing I was thinking about, but I want to get your take on, like for like these long running anime shows and just shows in general, right? There's and I think the best non anime comparison I could think about is like X Files, right? So like series that have lasted like 8+ years or 8+ seasons, right? There's a lot of filler episodes, right? Like um what do you think about like all the fan made like guides on like okay like here's the actual like timeline or episodes you should watch
Oh, I
not to waste time.
love that.
Yeah, no, just
I
thinking
yeah,
like
I love that. That's great. And
yeah,
filler episodes are great. I think they do serve a purpose and shit. But right, you just want to get to the meaty parts. I mean, for Naruto especially. I mean, those are filler episodes I feel like you could absolutely skip, especially Naruto. Yeah, no, that's great. I love that.
yeah. And I was thinking about that in the X Files too because like there's an underlying like main theme of like oh like uh and I'm gonna butcher it because I haven't seen it, but I know what the backstories for both main characters, Scully and Mulder. They have like different backstories and slowly revealed throughout the seasons. And then some of the episodes are just monster of the week, and like it may be fun. They might be included in that list, but like sometimes they're not necessary. So I like for those long running shows, I think it like that's the awesome thing about the internet and like these forums is like you have someone who dedicated time, like almost like a Wikipedia author, just like, okay, let me just condense this, and almost like that theme you're talking about from Death Stranding, like someone decided to put the team on their back and make it easier for everyone else in the future.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, you actually said Wikipedia. It's like a Wikipedia, and yeah, no, it absolutely just kind of streamlines things for you.
Yeah.
Well, kind of backing up though with the Pokemon, yeah, because the thing that blew my mind the most was the team that Ash used for his fucking, world champion league blew my mind, dude. It was like a wet dream come true. I mean, guy had fully evolved Pokemon, but dude, like, there's a site called Smoggin, and basically, like, if you do like competitive battling, with Pokemon, you they have like tier lists, and one of the obviously like most popular tier lists that people use is OU, so it's called overused, right? So
Mm-hmm.
these are obviously like the strongest, best Pokemon for strategies, types, move sets, whatever. Ash had about his whole fucking team was basically OU.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this dude got serious.
Yeah, and
He basically went on smoggin.com and said, "Yeah, time to get serious. Let me pick my team from this tier list."
and they don't say, and they say Ash isn't a strategist.
Yeah, he finally got serious. Fully like, yeah. I mean, dude, yeah, Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon would either be Dragonite or Togekiss. Straight up, I
so
love both of them.
so if you were to get a tattoo, it'd either be those two.
No, if I got a tattoo, I'd do stupid Japanese letter or something.
Yeah, Japanese with a Dragonite.
Sure, sounds good. But yeah, Dragonite and Togekiss. Yeah, my man Ash had a Dragonite, a Gengar, and a Lucario. I mean, just that alone is so fucking stacked. And of course, you had his Pikachu, which is defeated legendary Pokemon. And you had like the
Yeah,
Aloha Farfetch'd, which I know is pretty strong. And then another Pokemon that actually I'm not familiar with, but it looked OP. It
yeah,
looked strong. I don't know what it was, but again, I said it's one of those Pokemons I just haven't kept up with.
cool, cool. And then any final thoughts on like what Pokemon is meant to you, or like I guess what you were referring to earlier as well, about like what it says about our childhood and
Yeah,
growing
it
up.
is my childhood. That's my
Yeah,
first video game I ever played, man. I remember it. Pokemon Blue. I actually remember the exact color. Not yellow, not red. Game Boy Color, Pokemon Blue.
yeah,
Straight up. I remember it. It's the fucking first game I ever played. I'm almost positive. Maybe Tetris, right? Maybe. I mean, but yeah. So it's been everything to me. Like I said, it's childhood like officially over. Like that was my childhood, really early years, and it's been with me forever since in some kind of way. And I don't want to let go, but at the same time, like I said, I don't watch the show. I have never watched a show. The games have just gotten the complete crap. So in some ways, I kind of already have moved on. But when I was mentioning you before on the phone, that I kind of want to. We don't have
mhm,
to talk too long about this, but I just thought it was funny, right? Because like this would never happen like years ago, right? I'm talking about like we're grown, we're grown men, right? We are, and it's like I'm still holding on to these like it's like normal now too, right? That we can just talk about this kind of topic and these toys and shit that doesn't really matter, right? Well, in terms of the actual merchandising and what it stands for, but like that's like a product. But back then, again, if you're a man, you're working in the coal mines and shit, and you're coughing up black lungs and shit. You sit there and talk about Pokemon, they beat your fucking ass. You know, that you get fucking fired from your job probably. Now it's like you can make a goddamn become like a millionaire playing with the toys on YouTube and shit, and it's like seen as normal. I just thought it was like it's so interesting, just how things have like changed culturally as a society, just how like normal this is now. We're 30 years old talking about Pokemon.
yeah,
It's fucking crazy how like normalized it's like become.
yeah. No, I mean that's the crazy thing. Like, life has become better, and some people think too worse as well. Like,
Yeah.
the world's definitely changed, right? There's a lot more convenience, but with convenience, it leads to uh, like when you walk up like a very hard hiking trail and see like a mountain view, right? There, there is like a difference between if you were just helicoptered up and got to see the view, and you may be spending 2 hours
Mm,
hiking up the mountain, right?
that's a
And
good. That's good. I love that, man.
actually, one anime I haven't seen yet, but I saw a really good video essay on YouTube. I'll link it in today's description. It's about One Punch Man, and a lot of the themes are revolved about that idea, right? So, like, what's the main character's name again? Lucas, like
It's I can't pronounce it. I know how to spell it. It's like
Sat
Sa,
Satami.
Satama, yeah,
Okay.
Satama, yeah,
So,
something like that. It starts
yeah.
with an S. I
So
can't spell it.
they have a lot of like imagery with his real life and actually him fighting, you know, these anime like villains of like convenience kind of making him listless or not know what to do with his life. So like there's a scene in the supermarket where he's looking at these like freshly packed crabs, right? So that's a beautiful like innovation, like where we can get all the seafood and we don't really have to fish for it. Don't have to go brave the chilly waters to go do it. Someone else does it for us. And the same thing when he's like fighting these villains, right? He can kill them in one punch. So there's not much uh, stuff to go past endurance wise or like skill wise if you can just like do everything in one punch or super convenient. So with that, all this conveniences, it's easy to not feel like the sense of accomplishment. I'm not saying we should go back to like making everything by hand, but like that is an interesting perspective of some new challenges that our generation has to deal with. But um, it is objectively hilarious when you compare it to that exact same example where you're saying about the coal miners like complaining about this when they have to literally like just use their bodies to put food on the table for their family. That was a success for them and you know an honorable thing to strive for. But the world's changing. That's all I'm saying. Like there's different goals, different problems to deal with, and that is kind of funny when you hear people like playing with toys, making millions doing that, and like having like these maybe you see like this growth in mental health problems, and then like
Right,
that
yeah.
different generation is basically like, yeah, I just got to survive, put food on the table for my family. Like I can't take a day off because I gotta like provide.
Yeah, now people fucking take their vacation days off to go play a video game. Like this is a real thing that people do. I mean, I actually don't think I've actually done it now. I usually just use like my sick days for those, uh, or whatever. But no, you mentioned like the good and the bad part about it. Yeah, that's true, right? Because right, you see the studies now, right? Like man's children are to blame for women getting married later on in life and stuff, and like people can't fucking put down the goddamn toys and video games, and like people don't want to grow up and stuff. So I think there is some good and bad to it. It's like I don't really want to take a stance on it because I don't really know the answer to. No one really does, but it does deserve to be looked at, and we need to be careful. And there's a balance to everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that we're not good at as Americans, at least. We don't balance is like not in our dictionary.
Here's my stance on it. Like, so it's interesting you bring up like those articles too, because I've heard like studies, and I'll try to find them and link them in the description as well. But like a lot of people in our generation and Gen X, like a lot of them feel lonely and feel that they have like zero close friends. And then another is for both generations. A lot of them haven't had sex within the last calendar year. I think it was like a third. And then that just kind of goes to show you like the negative or the side that our generations are dealing with is that lack of connection, the polarization of everything, the more distance, the more options, like leading to like kind of this analysis paralysis, and like how do you cultivate like this intimacy or like camaraderie or community when like this technology, even though it connects us in all these awesome ways, like you made a lot of good friends on like Xbox Live, right? uh, but like how do you actually build like these relationships that make life worth living, right? um, and I think my only solution so far is like, yeah, a lot of people have to start doing more things like where they be part of community or like try to find friends that way. Like it could, and this could be surprising to come from me because like I'm not religious anymore. But I can understand why like, people go to church, right? It's that sense of community and seeing people. Like it might be a hobby, it might be like dancing, a sport, just a common interest. Maybe it's like starting a company with a couple of, like of buddies, but just like a way to form that community like and closeness, and you're gonna develop relationships. But I think the way forward is like people have to be conscious and like unfortunately put in effort to build those close relationships because it really is easy to be entertained and consume all this stuff. And
Yeah.
like yeah, no, like I've been stuck in like the YouTube algorithm where I like waste like a day like watching videos, and it is fun, it is entertaining, it makes you feel good in the short term, but again, like what makes life worth living, it's like that sense of vulnerability, intimacy with like people that you can trust and that you're close with, right? Something that you can share something with. And I mean, this is just a small thing, but yeah, that's why I'm glad we're doing the podcast, right? We've always been good friends. We may have like drifted away from each other doing our own things every once in a while, but just something as simple as like us meeting once a week and like slowly strengthening the bond over like multiple years, but also in this activity is nice. Kind of same thing with my other buddy. We used to be roommates, and now we meet once a week for jujitsu, right? So it's like something we do consistently and like active, and like this podcast. All I'm trying to say is like you want to be building these relationships, because I think that's that one of the antidotes to the sense of loneliness and separation.
Yeah, well, you mentioned a good point. I mean, like, where does that start from, right? You talk about it's easy to consume this media and stuff, right? And that means these things are taught early on, and that means the parents aren't doing a good enough job. If I actually, had some limits placed on me in terms of how much I could play a video game a day or something, who knows? Like, that could help me out tremendously. Especially nowadays. One thing I've noticed too is like younger kids. I mean, crap, man. I thought I got exposed to stuff too damn early, but Jesus Christ, even now, the new generation's coming up, the 5, 6 year olds, they already know everything. They already know just about everything. Like they're already being exposed to these violent video games and this shit, and it's like that can't be good,
Yeah.
you know. But it's something that they are exposed to, and they're becoming like, I mean, listen, it's like they're becoming like super self-aware, like even more early on now, and uh, yeah, it's just limits need to be placed on people. I feel like, and again, that falls on the parents' duties. But yeah, it's just easy to consume this stuff, and we just got to be careful.
No, I think
Parents can help with that.
yeah, no,
It's their job.
think that's a great point. I think it all goes back to intention for yourself, and then like if you're a parent, like what you want to teach your kid. Like I still remember that point a couple of months ago that you made. Like one of the things you loved about watching that Will Smith movie King Richard was like each day he's like, okay, how can I intentionally teach one lesson? Like what am I trying to teach my kids?
I'm
And
telling you.
yeah,
I sorry, I have to stop it. I'm telling you, there is 99% of the people in this world aren't even doing what he did.
yeah,
Not even close. Because I think he didn't have a job either. To his fair, I mean, that was his job, was really raising his kids. So there you go. There's a solution. You want your kids to be a millionaires, actually do the exact opposite of what we've been told of. The woman actually needs to be working, and the man needs to be raising the kids and teaching them lessons every day. There you go.
and like this might be a silly concept too, but like you can also imagine yourself as your own parent, right? So just like be intentional with stuff. Like I'm not saying don't watch YouTube or have fun, but like just do the necessary things and do it with intention. Like what are you trying to do today? Like how are you trying to grow? Um, just like something as simple as like our video making, right? Like you said a lot of cool stuff about like your process. Like oh, like just for me, I want to like release one video a week and get slightly better. Kind of same thing here with our podcast. Like okay, one week it's like cutting out like ums and uhs. We don't do that as much anymore, but like we're trying to like actively improve the audio and be a little bit more structured and still keep that fun. So with whatever you're doing, yeah, that intention I think is very important, right? Because it's easy to go on default mode.
Yeah, no, dude, you always say brilliant stuff. I hope someone listens to this shit. 'Cause I swear to God, the wisdom is so high with some of the stuff, like you say. You hit on like an amazing point that just resonated with me so much. The whole be your own parent. Oh my God, is that not beautiful? Right. That's exactly how you can not only kind of predict the future, but help yourself too. That's essentially what like you're doing, right? You have to be your own parent to kind of, create that discipline for like yourself. And guess what? If you have problems doing that, then more than likely you're going to be a shitty fucking parent then.
Yeah,
You can't even parent yourself.
and
Wow. Dude, you did the alley oop. I did the fucking dunk this time. Let's go.
like
Yeah.
the LeBron and Dwayne Wade thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You did the alley oop. I just dunked it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's, I mean, do you disagree? Because I think that's 100% right.
yeah,
Fuck it. I mean, you can't even parent yourself, and that's pretty easy to predict. You can see the future that you're going to be a shitty parent. Don't fucking lie to yourself.
and like what I also mean like by like be your own parent too is like maybe it's a trope, maybe it's not, but like in terms of like parental love, like there is some type of balance, or like maybe balance is not the right word, but like portion or a percentage, like where you have to like be tough love and then have like a little bit of fun, like the the tough love portion is like actually like a true form of love, like long term. So like when I say be your own like parent too, it's like know when you have to give yourself tough love and do the things you need to do. Don't let it drag out. So like when your parents tell you like, hey, clean your room, like try to start that essay, do your homework fast, like maybe learning the piano, like maybe some of these things aren't needed, but like they're trying to think about you long term, and that's why like that parent like self parent concept's like so cool because like these long term things like these suck, but it's actually a true form of love for yourself. Like, hey, am I being kind to myself? Am I doing the necessary things, or did I just order McDonald's, gorge myself, and watch 4 hours of YouTube? Is that actually being like kind to yourself? No, it's not. So, like, you got to show yourself tough love because that's a true form of love long term.
Yeah, long term for sure. I agree with you on that one. And your kids will see that too
Yeah,
once they're older. Anyways, they'll realize like, oh shit, I actually had a good father or a good mother.
yeah. And would you like to
Excuse
bring
me.
up a new topic, or shall I?
Yeah, let me get into because I wanted to mention
Hmm.
this. Yeah, 'cause I remember I got that wallet, the K2 Sublime, like Cora, I forget what the fucking company is called, Coracom, whatever, K2 Sublime wallet that you showed up. Yeah, no, I remember I sent you those text messages originally where I was like, I don't like this wallet and shit. But I think it was because I was not used to like getting like a new wallet or I don't know, but I played around with it again because I was just disappointed, right? This was a wallet that came from Australia,
Hmm.
so I was like, crap, like, am I really going to send this back? Have to deal with all this bullshit? And I was like, let me just take it out again and just see. And I started kind of play with it more. And dude, honestly, it's so nice actually. I absolutely love the color. I love the shape, but it's like more kind of like square. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of and it's thin too. It is very thin, and there's those quick access slots are beautiful. It's the way the card, like the leather feels. It's pretty premium. It feels like it looks beautiful, and it definitely has enhanced my everyday carry. I'm growing as a person. But no, yeah, I do like it. So I was wrong because originally I just didn't think I would liked it. I was just I don't know what happened. I just maybe I have yeah, trying to have high standards like for quality, and I guess I got scared by something, but luckily I took it back out again and I was like, wow, I was wrong. This is actually really nice. But what's crazy though was my other wallet. Shout out to Levi though. I mean, that other wallet I have, like I said, it's like 15 years old. And honestly, I was playing around with it again. I cut off one of the straps because it was technically a trifold, but this third fold was like this mesh pocket. It was just so dumb and flimsy. It's already broken, so I just cut it off. And dude, honestly, that wallet is actually really nice still. I actually 100% going to keep it. And it's the way like leather ages. It's called like the pinita,
Panita.
like
Okay.
yeah, something like that, right? The way and it's even thinner. It's actually that's how crazy that wallet's been used so much. It's even thinner than the thin wallet that I got. So I'm hoping that eventually, like the next couple of years, the thin wallet will even be somehow even thinner. I doubt it, but yeah, it's just so flat and honestly, like love like how it folds out. So seriously, like if you're a guy and you're trying to get like a wallet, right? Christmas is around here, and you're like, I feel like that a wallet is just an item as a guy that you take a lot of pride in because besides like a watch is like one of the things especially like between like men and women, like what women carry. This is something that you can take like, a lot of pride in. It expresses like yourself, and it helps you with like your everyday life. It's like as like a man. Because I even got this other wallet too. I did order another one. It's called the Esker wallet. Have
Hmm.
you seen this shit? It's like the ones that you click a button and like you shoot your cards up in like this ribbed effect, so you can like grab a card like very easily. And it looked cool, and I got it. But I returned it immediately because it was the biggest piece of dog shit. I mean, these things are like very popular. They're becoming so popular. But seriously, if you do decide to get an escrow wallet, definitely get the carbon fiber. I got the aluminum, and it felt just like a cheap plastic fucking toy. And the user experience was just nowhere near as enjoyable as touching leather. And I was like, wow, this is just a person trying to sell me a product. Like this is just a bunch of it's a pyramid scheme. Esker is at this point. Um, like if you get recommended Esker, it's probably because someone on YouTube told you to.
Hmm.
But I can tell you right now, it's fucking dog shit. Get a nice leather wallet, and from my experience, Levi and this Australian company, uh, it's pretty goddamn good.
What's your opinion on Ridge Wallet?
Wait, is that what you have?
No, no. I just you see all those YouTube ads, so I'm
Ridge, I think I've said, yeah, those are like the metal ones,
yeah.
right? I hate those. I hate those. Again, I feel like you want leather. That's what's again. You want a nice leather bifold too. You know, again, this is a 15-year-old wallet. It's technically a trifold, but now I cut it off. It's a bifold. Yeah, nice bifold, thin leather wallet. I see people like to go like really minimalist with like the Herschel wallets, and those look pretty cool too. I mean, seriously, if you
Oh,
want to go minimal,
is that the same company as the backpacks?
right? Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a pretty cool little company. They have like and their wallets are. It's a nice wallet. I mean, I would honestly like to try one out like myself, but would it replace my leather wallet? No. At this point, because again, it's like just a balance between being too minimalist and right like the function form of it, and just even again that user experience. And I'm telling you, touching leather, right? It feels nice. It looks nice. It's right. It still keeps it pretty thin. It just covers all the bases. So again, I'm just really happy with that K2 Sublime wallet. Guys, check it out. Our affiliate links are down the bottom.
Coupon code Millennial Cope.
Yeah, not yet, sadly. But I am really happy with it. 100%. You're just talking about like putting like your name to like a brand. Yeah, 100%. That wallet, I would 100% put my name on that brand. Like, I'm very impressed with it. Very happy. And Levi too. Like I said, that's why I mentioned Levi. 'Cause that thing's fucking 15 years old, and it's just I almost want to use it still over the other one. You know, just because it's like I said, just so thin and just held up so well. I may use it like when I travel actually.
Hmm.
That way, like it looks like I'm you know poor maybe because it looks a little it's so like worn out. But yeah, I mean I don't know like I mean what kind of wallet do you have again?
I'm not sure. It was gifted to me.
Everything's been gifted to you. Everything you own is gifted. I don't buy anything for myself. I just get gifts over the years. But it's like it's a minimalist wallet. I
Yeah,
mean,
just this simple wallet. I wouldn't say it's minimalist. It's just a simple, nice wallet.
oh yeah. Oh, that's ooh. Is that what? It looks like a bifold. Is it a bifold?
Yeah,
Don't show. Yeah.
it says KCL, so I'm not sure what that brand is, but
Oh wow.
it's pretty
It
sort of
looks
suitable.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only
No.
thing is like sometimes you got to cut the little strands because they fray a little bit, but no, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah. You can get like a lighter for that too. Don't forget that. Get like a lighter and just like put it underneath the. It'll just get rid of the
Oh,
strand perfectly.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like super. It catches like this little phrase that catch really quick and it's like so much easier than a scissor.
Good to know. I might do that
Yep.
with a match.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it myself. Like holy fuck, and I tried it and it worked really easily. So now you know. We approve every day, Kevin. This is our journey together. All right.
Kaizen, 1% every day, continuous improvement.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to mention the wallet because that's something like I said, I bought it and I am happy with it now. Uh,
Nice.
so yeah, I mean, you can throw out something next.
Yeah, I have two topics. Maybe one of them we just leave to next week if we don't have enough time. But two things I want to talk about is uh, the Liver King drama, and then also you know this new technology called GPT, and the effects on the software industry, or just in general. I'm not as well versed in GPT, so we can like probably leave that till next week. But
Yeah, let's do that next week too
yeah,
because I don't even know what that is. I could like look into it potentially.
yeah,
But yeah, the Liver King's good. Obviously, like you're talking about like current events, Liver King, Patty Pimilton, and even the guy the FTX stuff you're talking about. He finally got arrested too.
yeah.
So a lot of really cool current events we could talk about. But go ahead, Liver King.
Yeah, no, I just think it's like, okay, so we know how effective media marketing has become, right? Like, think about all your favorite YouTubers; they're making a lot more money than you think they are. Like, and not just terms of YouTube AdSense, just like the whole operation, right?
It depresses me greatly.
Well, like, but it just shows you how powerful like a medium like these social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube are, where like, dude, just from like a YouTube channel, you can have like 8 different income streams. So you can have merchandise, you can have like AdSense, you could have paid sponsorships, you could actually branch out into food, you can branch out into software. Like it really is endless. Like the possible ways that you can
Yeah.
use your channel to like grow different businesses.
Don't forget like the live streams too. People
Oh
just
yeah,
like tip you.
sorry.
People just like tip you on like your channel too. Just like, hey man,
Yep.
I appreciate the content. They give you this like fucking free money.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I totally. Oh yeah, Patreon. Like, I mean,
Patreon, right? Yeah.
there's so many different avenues. Like, I'm not even thinking about them all, but like, obviously, the biggest example is like Mr. Beast. Like, how he's been able to spin out all these different businesses, like his own chocolate brand, his own like burger brand, all this merchandise, all these channels that he actually has done a lot of smart stuff in terms of subtitling his content. So it's not now just not for English speaking countries. He has like a Mr. Beast in Espanol. He has in every single language he's been translating it and like really capitalizing on it. So like with Liver King, right? He cultivated this brand and lifestyle that resonated with a lot of people. But this word kind of goes to the thing like we talked about before on like I guess lying or like misinforming your audience. And like I think most people knew he was on the Sazul or on steroids, but in terms of like his branding, like I wonder like what percentage of people thought he was actually natty and bought into that. Maybe it was a small amount, but in terms of this marketing, like what like obviously like when you say like, oh, this pizza place is the best in the city, like that's a fine type of like that's an acceptable form of advertising, but where's it cross the line into lies? So obviously I think Liver King lied and like this was not the right way to go in terms of branding his business, but he ended up making like these millions and millions from kind of this false advertising or false branding. And it's interesting to see how he responded and if it affects him at all, right? So I just think it's like really interesting, right? Because you have all these people saying like, especially in the fitness industry, oh, I'm natty, selling like this fitness plans, these supplements, the supplements being a lot more like nefarious because I don't think it's FDA regulated, right? So it's just some like proprietary mixture, maybe with like the ingredients on the back. But yeah, no, just it's interesting to see how powerful this marketing is, and as a business man or person or owner, like how far are you willing to go into maybe like bending the truth and uh, if you're fine with that essentially like yeah
Yeah, you saw the more plates, more dates thing then?
I
Going
didn't
over it?
I didn't see the full hour, but I basically know that like he was messaging like different clinics on like how to sustain this performance enhancing drug use in a safe or safer manner as possible. So yeah, no, just like
Right.
basically the branding and marketing was a lie, and it's almost like shilling, right? But I
Yeah, yeah, that's a big. Go ahead. You can finish. Go ahead.
no, yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that and like
Yeah, it's the supplement thing is its own issue, and that we can get into in a second. But first off, let me just say, Liver King is a very dear friend of mine. Uh, so I was just trying to like the Stephen A. Smith shit. It's like he's a dear friend of mine.
this is not acid 9, this is acid 10.
Yeah. But no, what impressed me is listen. I think obviously what he did, because like you said, in terms of how, like you mentioned, that a small group of people that believed that he was natty was hopefully was 10% or less. Everyone fucking knew he wasn't fucking natty, and hopefully that maybe negates some of it. But in terms of what really impressed me, though, so I think some people took out of context or what should have really been focused on. What I actually was really impressed by was, and this is maybe shilling in some ways too, but it's true. This motherfucker really had a vision, and man, he actually really just followed through with it. He hired like you saw the emails, right? I mean, he literally like spent all this money on like he was all in on this. This was like him basically being rich or poor next. If it went to shit. But he like hired like the whole camera crew. Remember that he spent like all this money like a full on camera crew. Just he went out of the gate like he knew exactly what he needed to do to execute it from a business standpoint, and he used his body as the fucking marketing tool and just jumped on it immediately, and it just worked perfectly. But on top of that, too, his diet, he's not full of shit on his diet. He really, the email, right? If we're all believing the emails, then based on the emails, then he really does follow a fucking pretty strict ketogenic diet. I think he said like he has like 100 grams of carbs maybe every now and then, like depending on like the workout. But he is really so he executed a perfect business plan. He does stick to a pretty strict, ketogenic diet and eats these kind of foods. So he's really not completely fucking full of shit. Where he is kind of full of shit on, like you said, is like the supplements. That's where the kind of issue. That's the only issue I really see here, right? Because you're selling these things, saying that yes, I'm natty and this is what happened, and it's at that point like you've crossed the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, I think just something as simple as someone asks you, oh yeah, I mean we all do, right? But like this is actually, even if you're not on it, like this would be the right diet and exercises to do. And
Yeah,
then just
that's
talk about your
right.
clients, like, hey, this guy from like Idaho, he did all of this, and like I don't know, like you just use example, like he doesn't have gout anymore, or like whatever the like he there's like some type of health improvement, right? Like he doesn't necessarily have to be it to like still uh, fulfill this mission.
Yeah, it's so interesting there too, because again, that's the part that confuses me with all this shit. I mean, I guess they're seeing different numbers. I mean, right? There must be some kind of numbers or something they're seeing that says, no, I have to lie and say I'm a natty, because in my mind, it's just you remember you said like reputation is everything. It's one of the
Mhm.
laws of power. Something that resonates with me so much. You're telling me that they can't sit there and say, hey, no, yeah, I do take steroids. Like it is. This was what I mean. No one would give a fuck. Like, how many customers was like you really lose? Is it again? It must be pretty fucking significant for them to go through these links, because I just don't understand why people just can't come out. We all know you're doing it, like you said. It's a small percent of people that will actually believe you.
Yeah.
So just come out and say, yes, I'm on steroids, but I still do follow this diet. I do this diet pretty strictly, which he does, and again, right, he does work out really fucking hard and stuff, and those supplements technically still really do help him.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
and and like
The
my
numbers must, right? Tell me I'm wrong. The numbers must be telling them otherwise, then, correct?
well, like probably so, and that's why I'm talking about like it maybe becomes a well, no, it does become a moral decision, right? Like I think you still be very popular and be honest and forthright, right? Like look at more plates, more dates. Look at that guy on I think TikTok or YouTube Shorts. I don't know his last name, but Noel. They both openly admit they take steroids. They try to do it in a safe way, and they still give great advice, right?
Yeah,
They're
Greg Doucet,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and they still sell supplements, but like it's not
right.
because you think they're natties because like Derek from More Plates More Dates, he knows his pharmacology. Or he's been very trustworthy in his videos so far.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It must be a fucking because right, as I'm saying, right, the numbers would be or look at it from the psychological standpoint, and these people must be actually very narcissistic people.
Hmm.
That's the only other fucking way it could be. Because again, it makes no sense to me. No one gives a fuck, right? No one cares anymore. Because again, everyone already fucking knows everybody's on steroids, guys. I guess what I'm telling you. I've been telling you this the past 4 years, have I not? Tell me I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Right, I've been telling you to quit going to the gym and quit wasting your fucking time. Have I not been telling you that?
Yeah.
I said either take steroids or don't go to the fucking gym. And that's true, guys. If you're listening to this, seriously, this is the biggest fucking cope you can have to yourself. This is some 4chan black pill fucking great bullshit, but it's true. If you're really going to go to the gym and focus on pumping, lifting fucking weights, either you are in your early 20s or and then past that, you need to fucking take steroids, TRT, something, right? Something that actually really truly give you the edge and maintain it, or do a fucking activity, kayaking, jujitsu, right? Quit fucking focusing on the muscle and focus on a sweat
Rock
and
climbing.
yeah, and like an activity.
Yeah.
But to go and sit there and or not unless right, it makes you feel better and shit or whatever, right? And maybe you do have the good genetics where you can like maintain a pretty good muscle mass. But I'm 30 years old and this is bullshit. I got microplastics all full. Microplastics are all in my body. Testosterone's at an all-time fucking low. For all this bullshit, and I mean 100%. Like once I get into like my 40, because right, you got to realize once you're on TRT, you have to probably take it for the rest of like your life.
Hmm.
So I'm not 100% like wanting to get on it immediately. But dude, seriously, when I'm in my 40s, I hope I do get on TRT. At some point, I absolutely want to be on TRT because again, it's like, oh no, right? As I'm saying, I hate the argument. You have to be on TRT the rest of like your life. Oh no, I have to feel good and look good the rest of my life. Oh God, it's like,
Oh jeez. Oh god.
yeah, like yeah. So seriously, enough of this fucking cult bullshit, right? Everybody's on fucking steroids, and if you want to know, right, it's a very easy test to figure out if someone's on steroids. I see all the big YouTubers doing this. For me, it's actually extremely fucking easy. My test, it's pretty simple. Are they lean and do they have mass at the same time? If they're lean and have mass and they're able to maintain that, like you see, like year round, the third, I mean, right, the year round part, that is absolutely going to give you the final clue that like you need. But I don't think you need that piece per se. But just are they lean and do they have mass?
Yeah.
If they have those two, just lean on the sides of steroids. Just as even if they're not, who gives a fuck? Just assume they're on steroids.
I would also say two other indicators like plus 10 pounds of muscle in a short span of time, 3 to 6 months. That's a good indicator. And then also the ability to train for long amounts of time every day. Like in the jujitsu world, like from competition, when someone says like, "Oh, I've been training for 12 hours a day," I'm not saying it is, but
Right,
it
that's
could be
actually a good
indicative.
point.
Yeah.
Right. No, those are more kind of like personalized details. I'm talking about just like from pictures and like you see the
Oh,
fitness,
gotcha.
like
Yeah.
you like how can you right? You just because right to gain a quick amount of muscle, right? I mean that's pretty easy to track for like movie stars, but with like the people that do it just year round nonstop, it's like how are you really going to be able to find those pictures of when they were smaller and then gain the it's just so it's just like if you just show me a picture like right now, right, could just lean towards the steroid side, right? If I see lean and mass, because right, you see people that are fucking lean and look big as shit, but really it's just because they're actually weigh like 160 fucking pounds and they look big as shit because they're lean as fuck, but they don't really like have mass. But then there's the other ones that are actually lean, still lean, and then have the fucking mass. Again, like Zac Efron has become pretty popular because right, you saw him in Baywatch, he was lean, natural. You probably worked like really hard for that. Maybe a little something, but not really probably. And then look at his new movie with the wrestler.
Hmm.
Fucker's huge now. So now and he's still lean. So there you go. He's on steroids now. He's gonna sit there and say, yeah, I took chicken broccoli and rice, and someone needs to fucking break his jaw again. Someone needs to fucking break his jaw again if he says that. Let him fucking get another jaw surgery. Because these motherfuckers are lying to you. Like one of the guys I remember, I don't know like his latest stance now, but his name's Thomas Delore. He used to be one of my favorite YouTubers. It still kind of is for like the keto world, and like he just looks at a lot of like research papers. But I can't remember the last time he's talking about is he on steroids or not. But that's just such an easy fucking case there too. Dude is lean as fuck, and a dude that has size at the same time. He's on steroids. He's on something, yes. So I don't know why it's so hard for the average fucking person to sit here and like figure this shit out. You're gonna go to the gym. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna burn so many fucking calories. You're gonna come back. You're gonna eat a bunch of shitty fucking McDonald's, and you're just
I feel
it's not
personally
gonna
attacked.
yeah, it's like that was kind of at you. You caught that? That was kind of at you. So I remember that day, because you're gonna be more hungry, right? And you're not gonna be able to follow it. It's just like quit it. Just fucking stop. Just go walk in the fucking park and lift some, just do some light, what the fuck ever, or take it seriously and start fucking injecting something into your body, and then fucking lift some heavy shit. But quit it, guys, please. It's really starting to piss me off. That's what I'm saying. We're the Millennial Cope podcast, right? We're here to fucking let you know what you're coping on and how to stop it. And I'm telling you, the workout industry shit is the biggest fucking cope right now.
Hmm.
It has been for a while, without questions. The biggest thing people cope on every day. Hell, I still fucking do. Right? Every day you're gonna have to fucking cope in some way. Go just to get into the fucking gym's a goddamn cope at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like convincing
But
yourself, like, okay,
right.
just show up, be there 15 minutes and leave.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the biggest fucking cope ever, right?
Dude,
Because
I actually had that same conversation before going to jiu-jitsu in the morning. Like, I probably should go.
yeah, it's just copes all around, nonstop. It's just not. It's the biggest cope in the fitness industry. Really is because people forget the part that we're mammals. Mammals like to lounge around. Look at any other fucking mammal in the animal kingdom. They like to lounge around. You're supposed to lounge around, but obviously, yes, we need to work out, and working out is good, right? I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying, right? The whole weightlifting shit, it's a waste of fucking time unless you're injecting something. Or again, you're young and like you'll let your nuts. My body does not put on the same kind of muscle. I cannot lose the same. I cannot get the stubborn. I cannot get this stubborn body fat off my body anymore, dude. The stubborn fat will not come off. I cannot be as lean as I once was, and on top of the fact, I cannot put on the muscle like I used to. 100%. I've reached that. I hit that fucking age where it's over. It's over, bro.
By the way, how do my biceps look?
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. You look healthy, you look good, right? But it's not all right. So yeah, just please, guys. Like the average person at this point, you should be able to fucking figure out if someone's on steroids or not. You should be able to understand like your body and what's really achievable. And again, quit wasting your time in the gym. Find an activity, for God's sakes. If you want to save yourself, you want to better yourself for 2023, quit the fucking gym. And take up an activity
Yeah.
where
And
you're going to be able to sweat and work out, but not focus on building muscles.
and for a lot of those functional exercises too, I think like the muscle groups are naturally going to define. Like with like the example you use, like kayaking, rock climbing, jujitsu. Like a lot of that's just natural pulling and pushing and stuff like that. Like I know like rock climbing guys who just in a couple months their forearms have exploded because that's obviously like what they use and their legs too. And like on the same thing with like jujitsu, like my deltoids and biceps have developed a little bit from all that
Right.
like
Yeah.
grappling. And I'm guessing the same with the kayaking or the rowing. Like your arms probably just become god tier from all that consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
Biking, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can still get a pretty good looking body
Hmm.
and not have to sit there and fucking hate yourself for it. You
Yep.
can learn something in the process. That's the new wave of the fitness industry. Something tells me they're going to fucking start capitalizing on all that too. I mean,
Well,
who knows?
well, I think so too. Like, um, there's actually this one YouTuber or fitness creator. I forgot her full name, but like Lean Beef Patty or what? That girl.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I think the new trend is like the way that fitness is being explained and described, like to her and her niche or her audience is more for introverts and like people like or nerds like getting into fitness with a lot of like anime kind of interjections or like memes like in her videos, like basically making like fitness a lot more accessible for nerds or introverts, which I think is a good thing, right? Like, hey, this is the reason like you would want to like become more healthy, right? Like you're emulating these anime characters, but you're doing it for yourself for mental health. And I think this more relatableness in that terms is probably going to be a trend we're going to be seeing a lot. You know, like
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I think I remember seeing, yeah, everyone's kind of doing like, oh, he's looking like this Baki character and shit. Yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
seen that. But you gotta now that you mentioned it though, kind of put it in the front of me.
yeah,
Yeah, man, it's sick, man. They're just trying to sell you something too, just in
yep,
a different way, which is
yeah.
good. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. If that works and it's better content, and good, right? But just understand why it's happening. That's all we're trying to bring to your attention.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand when you're getting sold, but like, I do think it's a good message. And like the cool thing about like this marketing toward nerds too, like, dude, you just look at a jiu-jitsu gym. A lot of them are nerds. They love getting lost in
I
the
know
stuff.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
boy, I want to fucking become like Saitama. I mean, 1 punch. I can't win. I don't know.
No, but like just in terms of like a lot of people like study or like they just get really obsessed with it, and I think what it doesn't have to be just that. It could be like wait, well, I know we're kind of or you're like advising against that, but I'm just saying in any type of fitness, like it's beneficial for like every group, and there might be different pathways to people getting introduced to fitness or exercise, but like when when nerds get into it, they get obsessed with it, and it obviously has natural benefits too,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, let's back up too, right? I mean, whatever works for you, right? I'm
Yeah,
not saying don't go do weightlifting, right? If that's the only exercises that you can do, that's what gets you off the fucking couch, then by God's sakes, do it. I'm just letting you know that in terms of where we're at and what's accessible to you, it is the biggest fucking waste of time. Depend for terms of what you could do differently. But if that's what works for you, then absolutely do it. It's going to be good for you. Just I prefer if you would take steroids or TRT doing that. Yeah, it makes more sense.
if you want that body, you need the sazul.
Right, because again, I'm assuming you're doing it because you're trying to get like a physique,
Hmm.
and it's like that's never going to get you the physique that you're thinking of in like your head.
And
That image you have in your head is not you're not going to get there.
and that just leads to its own different discussion that we don't have to go too deep on. It's
Yeah.
just like there's a difference between physique and actual health, right? Like in
Right.
order to get that physique, you have to do a lot of things like weight cutting, dehydration, like actually having a pretty shitty diet leading up to the competition potentially in order to get that nice cut look, right? That's
But
that.
just even like just like a abs year round stuff. I
Mhm,
mean, for the average person, that's still a pretty fucking hard, especially like you get older. But you're talking about the full bodybuilder thing. I mean, yeah, that's its own thing. I'm talking about like people know.
yeah,
You should know. But yeah, because at this point, I mean, I guess I'm going to hot works. It's like I told you, like the sauna thing. I love it because I sweat more. I feel better sweating. So I just like sweat a little bit, ride on some bikes, and I'll go do some push-ups and pull-ups and some squats. Just little whatever, right? I don't really think too much about it, and I just leave. It's not ideal. I don't really. I wish I could be doing something else, but this is what's available to me. It's the best I got, and I feel better for it. So that's where I'm at. And you're on jujitsu, and you're liking that. You're learning the skill. You feel good, and you're because yeah, when you fucking put me in that goddamn headlock, like when we met up recently, you fucking put me in that goddamn headlock thing, like put your foot on it. it felt like you could have flipped me pretty easily if you really wanted to. It did. You felt strong. I felt like I was like, shit, he could flip me right now if like he wanted to. Now, granted, I let you get in that spot though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
I was
yeah,
a
yeah. That's half
you're
the
trying to
battle.
come
Yeah.
on, bro. Like, give me some credit, man. You know?
No, I will say one thing, like a nice personal win from ye- yesterday. One of the black belts said I had good top pressure, so I was really happy about that. I'm slightly
Yeah, I
improving.
felt that. That's what I'm saying. You're top heavy. Yeah, that's where your strength is at, man. The gorilla. You're like a gorilla, kind of, you know. Yeah. You're fucking that's gonna be your nickname, the Harambe. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. You're just like you like beat the shell like your opponent. You know, you just like put your hand on them like you're comforting them, like the child. You know.
Yeah. Dude, I will say one thing. Like when you're rolling around with different people, like, dude, it is incredible how strong some people's grips are. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there are some guys and gals at my gym. Like, wow, this is really strong grip. This is gonna be a nightmare to try to get out of.
No, dude, I'm glad you mentioned that too. Because seriously, when it comes to strength, if you really want to seriously about improve your strength, though, just improve your grip. I
Yeah.
mean, I've actually never done it myself, but I know for a fucking fact it works. I've seen the people that do it. I'm serious, man. Your grip is like that's your functional strength, right? When you get those tendons and those ligaments all kind of working together and shit, your strength like explodes. I've seen the people that just work on like the grip shit, and like one of my friends in college, his name was Reggie. Um, Dude was fucking pretty built up and shit. And man, I'm telling you, like we were playing around one time. I remember he grabbed me, and he's shorter than me, much shorter than me.
Mhm.
And he like grabbed me and put me up against the fucking wall, and I was like, oh my god, this dude could beat the shit out of me if he wanted to, because I could feel his grip and his strength. I'm like, this is like country strength, you know. Like we were
Yeah.
playing around, like it wasn't something serious, you know. But I remember like laughing and like thinking like, oh my god, like dude, Reggie's strong as fuck. And it's the grip. I felt like how he could just control me, you know.
Yeah.
It's freaky, you know, when like you
It
actually
is.
really feel someone like strong, like not like built, but actually strong. There's a difference, you know. It all comes from the grip. Fucking huge forearms, you know. It's wild.
Yeah. It definitely is. Yeah, you just realize I'm in trouble. Like with the
Right?
amount of
Yeah. Seriously,
control
if
and
you
grip
want
they
to,
have.
yeah, people that are anyone that watches this, you want to fucking find someone like you get a chance like in a gym or something like a I don't know fighting places or something. You want to if you've never felt someone, I feel like every man should experience this, like
Yeah.
to feel like what someone strong actually feels like. Not this, oh yeah, look at me pressing 4 bench plates. I mean, what the fuck ever. I mean, don't get me wrong, they could still have a really strong grip and shit, but find someone that's a really strong grip and then knowing see if they can grab you and like pick you up and just feel how that feels. I mean, it would blow your mind when when like you really feel like what someone strong actually like how it feels, against you.
Dude,
Blew my mind. That's why I still remember it. Him grabbing me, like I was like, holy fuck! I'm like, he could toss me around like a doll.
yeah. Like, dude, like I definitely agree. Like, just take anybody with like a high school wrestling background or like maybe someone really
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
at jujitsu. Just like I think when people like try to do like street fights, like they can kind of convince themselves like, oh, like that guy got lucky punch, like he's not that good a fighter. But there are no excuses when someone can just utterly dominate, control you, like with their strength and grips,
Strength.
like
Yeah.
that's like, dude, it's total domination. Like I think that's what you felt. That's what I feel still like with the higher belts. Like you could just sense the control, calmness, and you can't do anything about it. Like because they had that much control and power.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, man, it's fucking. Well, 'cause I don't have that. I've never had that kind of strength. I feel like that's that country strength or
Hmm.
old man strength, you know, like retard strength maybe too. You can label it like that. That's what people call it sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild fucking. Yeah, I've never had that. I mean, I've like I'm kind of strong with like the upper body in terms of like to like push and pull kind of exercise,
Hmm.
calisthenic like a little bit, but nothing like with grip. If I can improve my grip, I'd probably be so much stronger.
Yeah.
But it makes me think back to the Liver King though. One more thing I want to mention on Liver King though is because again, listen, it's a shame that's happened. I'm still very impressed with the emails, yada yada yada. But dude, the one thing that actually, listen, when it comes to like physiques and shit and stuff, he's short as fuck, dude. Have you actually seen how short he is?
No, how
And
short
shit,
is he?
it's like 5'7", man. It's like shorter than you. So it's this fucking huge, ripped up little fucking short guy. I'm 6 fucking foot. I mean, I would probably look bigger than him. I probably
Cap.
look bigger than him. Yeah, I
I'm just
look
joking.
bigger than I most likely look bigger than Liver King, but he's obviously going to have just a fuck. He's obviously so much stronger than me and a huge like physique. But I've noticed that. Dude, I'm saying like I'm 6 foot. And it's so shitty for fucking lifting, dude. Because like squatting and stuff, like the most ideal frame I've seen is like 5'8", 5'9". The shorter dudes, right? You're able to squat and get in better positions easier, and you're just able to like move weights around just so much more fucking efficiently. And that's
And we
part of the
live longer
reason.
too.
I mean, guess so. I mean, yeah, good for you, asshole. Thanks.
No. Like, I mean, like, I think you're still in that safe range too. But like, they're saying like I got to share with you the study. But like, the taller you get, like, I don't think it's that much, but like, your life expectancy is a little bit shorter.
No, yeah. If you're like, I'm hoping it's not 6'5". I'm assuming it's like it starts at like 6'4"
Yeah,
plus.
yeah, probably around there.
Because right, but I mean, even then, I mean, you've seen people live long. I don't know, but no, that's true. It makes sense. But yeah, he's fucking short. And like Tyler One, the other streamer, he's short and super strong. So these guys are like little short dudes that are just extremely built and ripped up. That's because they can fucking move weight easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost unfair, like a way. That's why these short guys are able to put on so much muscle and look the way they do, is because yeah, like they can move weights around their body so much easier, and it shows. But yeah, Liver King, like that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing again. I hate to shit talk Derek, but I showed you that picture, right? How tiny his legs look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sorry, Derek, if you're listening, but I mean, Jesus Christ, man, there's a reason why you film from the shoulders up. I mean, like very high up. Never show off like these physiques aren't really like impressive. I mean, my physique's not impressive either, like compared to something like Liver King. But I would much rather be in my position than his. The dude's tiny, man. I mean, you're taller than Liver King, Kevin. Think about that.
Well, when you're saying that, I think an interesting thing to think about is like like how like most people like to be taller, like in this very specific niche endeavor, I guess, like bodybuilding or lifting. Like you're saying, it actually is more advantageous to be shorter.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that
it
crazy?
really is. Like, the fucking CrossFitters and
Yeah.
shit, like the goddamn best CrossFitters around that fucking height, 5'8", 5'9". Matt Frazier, the fucking guy that dominated CrossFit sports, like 5'9". It's the perfect weight to fucking lift the bar over your head and sling the bars with clings and shit and snatches. I'm fucking sitting there and feel like I had to bend down, and it hurts my fucking back and stuff, and that's probably poor form too. But I'm not shit. I mean, I hate to shit talk because obviously Liver King would beat the fuck out of me. The guy's incredibly strong. I mean, insanely strong. But it's just kind of funny. That's all I was trying to say. Like, it's just kind of funny to think like he just looks so built up, but then you literally get next. It's right. I mean, you're not short, but how tall are you again? You're 5'9". I think.
Yeah, I'm 5'9". It's
Right.
fine.
The perfect.
I'm a short king.
You're the perfect height. No, you're the perfect height to fucking lift weight. I mean,
Yeah.
right? But Liver King's like 5'6". So imagine how Liver King looks, that fucking built and shit. And now he's actually, remember, his body frame is actually probably smaller than you.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine him standing next to you, just a little shorter and ripped up. It looks funny as it probably look funny as shit. Now, obviously, I wouldn't say that to like his face because like Mike Tyson says, people got too comfortable talking on the internet. Like
that's true. No, but I will say one thing. I'm gonna send you a YouTube link because like you know who Bradley Martin is, right? He's like that bodybuilder YouTuber guy.
Yeah.
He actually wrestled or grappled with a jiu-jitsu guy, and that just goes to show you like size and like your muscle capacity doesn't equate to like you.
Yeah, because he has no fun. Dude, he's literally the definition of a steroid bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the guy's a great guy. I have to say that because I'm like shit talking to everybody.
Well, no,
I hate this shit talking. Like I have to preface that because like I want to protect my image too. Yes, I'm air quotes like shit talking them, but obviously if I really thought they were like a shitty person, I would say that they're not shitty people. They're obviously like great people, but this is their industry and shit, and I just want to acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged. And he is a typical steroid bodybuilder, has a total frame, but he has no functional movement, no real applications to it. So that's why, but that's whatever video like you're talking about. Yeah, he probably got his ass handed to him.
Yeah. And the reason I bring that up is because like you're saying like Liver King would like beat you up. Like we don't know. Maybe he has a grappling experience, maybe he doesn't. If you actually compare it to like
he's fucking incredible. He doesn't. I mean, yes, against like an actual trained martial artist, he probably gets butt kicked. But just the everyday Joe, I mean, just would knock me the fuck out.
Okay.
Have you seen how strong he is? I mean, this guy, he's Liver King. Again, I'm not taking anything away from the guy. The guy works fucking hard, and he can lift some serious fucking weight. I mean, he's utilizing those steroids properly.
Well,
Go figure. Go figure. The guy's on fucking 9, 10 different things, and he can fucking shoulder press fucking 1,000 pounds or however much it was, like 500 pounds.
It actually reminds me of this one baseball interview, like we're talking about steroids, and he says like, what people don't understand is even on steroids, you still gotta like work out like the fuck hard. So like it's
Hey,
not just
right, you
like it
still got to hit the
happens.
ball, right?
Yeah,
Steroids
yeah,
don't fucking help you swing the bat.
yeah.
It doesn't line up the bat to like the ball. I mean, yeah, those kind of arguments and shit, but no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just again kind of back to the steroid. I just wanted to mention it though because it's just one of those things. It's like that's not impressive, you know. I mean,
Hmm.
his physique is obviously impressive, but in terms of his size, it's just like I'm just happy where I'm at. I'd much rather be 6 foot and where I'm at than him. It's just like physique. Now his money though, that's a different thing.
Yeah, like like we talked about this maybe like a year and a couple months ago, but I think the perfect physique for me is Mel Gibson in What Women Want, or like maybe PewDiePie, like when
No, I love that. Yeah,
yeah, like like
that's
like
Mel
like
Gibson. What women want.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, like just something functional, like that's naturally gonna happen. Like you're saying, throughout the year, you might have abs, you might not, but like you're still s- uh slender, and but you have the muscle groups for whatever exercise you do. For me, that would be like jujitsu with the grappling, so that'll probably be me more defined than other muscle groups. But like I think it doesn't have to be anything more than that. But yeah, kind of like that slender build with a little bit of muscle definition. So I'm not sure if you've seen PewDiePie when he went through his fitness journey, but maybe not as diced up as
Yeah, but
that.
as you
But
say, you're
yeah.
not. Yeah, no, you're. I mean, that'd be really hard. You don't even want to get down to that kind of weight. I
Oh,
mean, you're more.
yeah. I'm not saying that diced up. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that like
he's got thin. He's
yeah,
got thin,
yeah.
which is
All
good. He looked good though because he's tall. That's why
yeah.
he looks tall anyways. I'm sure he is. But yeah, no, you. I mean, you want a little extra weight on you. I mean, you're kind of more the stout. You kind of have that weight. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of remind me like the Khabib. Like the wrestling with like the bear physique. That's
Let's
what he
talk
wants.
now. Let's talk now.
Yeah, right. Uh, but yeah, no. So again, long story short, I just like myself.
Yeah.
I like myself. I'm happy where I'm at. It could always be better and shit, but yes, I'm impressed with Liver King's physique, but when you really look, no, he's like 5'7" and shit. It does take away from it. It does. I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
short, and it doesn't apply to me. I'm 6 foot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any more topics? I have one more, but it could be really quick.
I thought you mentioned the other thing, like we're gonna talk about next week, or is it a
Oh yeah,
different
yeah.
one?
But like this is just something like we can talk about for 5 minutes. I really want to talk about the TV show Severance. I know you might not watch it, but I just like the idea, the concept of the show. So maybe this will intrigue you or the viewers. Like if you were given the chance, like where you could have like a medical implant, and for whatever work you do, like it'd be like you dropped off the office, you woke up, and then you were done, and all the work was done, and you could just like live your life outside. Would you do it?
Oh my God, is that really how the show works?
Dude, that's why I'm recommending you see it, because
So,
dude,
so basically, yeah, you never said it, and no idea. So you're telling me that you go to work and don't even know that it's happening.
yeah, so like basically like you would take a nap and then all your work is done.
Dude, I mean, sign me the fuck up right now. Holy shit. Why haven't, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
mean,
like you were so against watching this, but like oh, I understand everything about my philosophy on work. I'm just saying, but dude, this is done in such an interesting way. You'll like it because it brings up a lot of
well,
like
it
philosophical
doesn't,
questions.
it doesn't change my philosophy. It doesn't change my philosophy because I still would know my decisions and stuff. I mean, I guess it does change like a little bit, but not in terms of that's a good thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, I think that would be a good thing for people
Well,
because you still gotta go to, I mean, what's the downside? You still gotta go to fucking work. You don't
well,
like your job, then fucking don't
so
know you're doing it.
so
Sounds
so
perfect to me.
here's the downside. So like the way that the show is structured, right? Like there's an outside you and then there's an inside work you, right? So like you technically have like the same base personality, it's just like different things. So the people inside, like basically when they leave on the elevator, like they immediately come back down and it's work just the entire time. So their entire existence is just a loop of work. And then the outside you is like a loop of like outside of work, and there's a separation where you don't remember what happened on the inside, and the inside people don't know what happened on the outside. And then like it comes up with this philosophical question: is like the inside like the outside you, what they're doing, like ethical for the inside you? And then that just leads all the crazy fascinating story throughout the whole series.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm all for it. Fuck it. I mean, listen, I don't give a shit what the downsides are. As long as I don't know what the fuck's going on, who gives a fuck? It's like one of those copes, like again, like it's all makes me think of like in Inception, you know, like if you're happy, why question it, you know? Like if you're dreaming but you're happy, why would you ever question it? And I thought for a long time that that was the wrong way to look at it. Like, no, of course you would question it, but now I understand at least where I'm at. It's like, no, fuck it. If you're happy, yeah, you shouldn't question it. um, because and I just think that's better. And so yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, I have to right. I'm sure there's dire consequences, right? And that's how the show gets exciting. But
Well, no, no,
I mean,
obviously there are, but it's very. I'd say it leans one way, but it also is nuanced because you can understand the reasons why someone would undergo this procedure. So it's not just like cookie cutter, like in its perspective, right? So yeah, I mean, if that intrigues you, just watch it. I watched it, very well done. Like it it really is a very interesting story and TV show.
yeah, I don't know why I never even saw that part mentioned. That's like the whole premise. But damn, yeah, that's I would do it 100%. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That'd solve all my fucking problems. What the fuck? Why is it that the course is not in my lifetime? That's awesome though. I can't wait to start talking to people about that. Like, would you do this? Huh? Would you fucking forget about work and just have your outside
Yeah,
inside of you? Yeah, I love outside of me. Inside of me fucking sucks. Get rid of that. I don't
yeah.
want to know what's happening.
Well, okay, this like brings up like interesting question. Like, would you not question the work you do? Like, what if you're down there doing something that's bad?
What's what I'm saying? I hope that I know what my job is and there's some
They
ethical
they
like
they wouldn't tell you.
fuck you.
They got us.
Always gonna be a kid, I know, right? Well, see what I'm saying? That would never happen though, right? There would obviously be laws in place and stuff. So like, yes, you're doing this job, and if something were to change, we would obviously tell the inside of you or the outside of you, kind of,
well,
right?
well, that's an interesting thought because like, would you trust? Like, just imagine like this technology with the current set of politicians. Do you trust your current set of politicians?
Let me say this: as long as I can guarantee my safety, fuck it, right? As long as I know I'm going to be okay and there's going to be no repercussions on my end, fucking sign me up. I would do it in a goddamn heartbeat
Okay. Well, if you can watch the show, I think you'll like
for
it.
a year at a time, though. That's the only one condition I have to set. Only for a year at a time, though. Obviously, I would like to come back and be able to think about the next year. Seems fair.
Okay. Well, please watch the
Like I'm
show if you
outside.
can. Audience
I don't
too.
have Apple. I don't have Apple. I told you
You
that.
could use my account.
Gonna mooch off of you again.
Yes.
Great. But all right. But yeah, no, I don't think we need to go any further. I think we have some really good topics and a lot of good stuff. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll get back with you next week.
All right. Have a good day. Bye, guys.